Okay, it's 1972, I'm 11 years old, and I'm wandering through the halls of the Lake Chelan Public Library. I stumble onto a book called Instant Replay, The Green Bay Diary of Jerry Kramer. I had just finished reading the Diary of Anne Frank, so another diary book sounded interesting. Throughout the 1967 football season, Jerry carried a tape recorder and recorded his day-to-day experience as a player with honesty, perception, humor, and sensitivity. His words were then shaped into a book by sports writer Dick Schaap. Instant Replay would go on to become a multi-million copy bestseller and was hailed by reviewers everywhere. The Washington Post's Jonathan Yardley calls it the best inside account of pro football, indeed the best book ever written about that sport and that league. From then on, I wanted to be an offensive lineman, just like big number 64. Jerry played football at Sandpoint High School, where he was also an excellent field goal kicker. He received a scholarship from the University of Idaho and had a standout career at guard. In 1958, Jerry and his college roommate Wayne Walker were the first players from Idaho to be drafted by an NFL team. Walker was drafted by Detroit, where he became an all-pro linebacker. Jerry was chosen by the Green Bay Packers. Starting every game of his rookie year, the Packers ended the 1958 season 1-10-1, the worst in the league. But in 1959, the Packers hired a new coach named Vince Lombardi. With legendary players like Bart Starr, Paul Hornung, Ray Nitschke, Max McGee, and Willie Davis, Jerry and the Packers would go on to dominate the NFL, winning 5 league titles, including the first 2 Super Bowls. Jerry was an integral part of the famous Packers sweep, which featured he and Fuzzy Thurston pulling out from their normal positions and lead blocking for running backs Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung going around the end. It was the Packers' bread and butter play, and they ran it to perfection. In the 1967 NFL Championship against Dallas, also known as the Ice Bowl, Jerry made one of the most famous blocks in one of the most storied championship games in NFL history. With just seconds remaining, Jerry knocked Cowboy defensive lineman Jethro Pugh backwards and led quarterback Bart Starr into the end zone for the winning score.
Coach, we're going to have a play right now. You can see it on this monitor.
I hope I can see it.
This is slow motion now as Jerry Kramer makes a key block for Bart Starr on this quarterback sneak for the winning touchdown.
Yes.
A super defensive play, but as you will see, Jerry Kramer blows him out of there.
Yeah, that's a fine block, and it's a real good hold.
9 years after that famous block, I'm a freshman at Nampa Christian High School playing my first year of tackle football. When I walked into the equipment room to get my uniform, it was still lying there on the floor, a maroon and gold jersey with a big number 64. I proudly wore that jersey for 4 years. Both Austin and Alex wore 64 through their Optimus football years, and Austin wore it through high school. Instant Replay was required reading at our house. As far as football goes, the boys and I wanted to be just like Jerry Kramer. And as it turns out, we weren't the only ones.
All of my life, I tried to play football like Jerry Kramer. I've never met Jerry Kramer.
The great
I know
guard
nothing.
for the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, he was my hero as an athlete. And I tried as hard as I could to play ball like Jerry Kramer. I know nothing about his family life. I don't know if he's a good man or a bad man. I know he is a genius pulling guard. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to be. And the things that I taught myself are, let's say, the things I learned from trying to be Jerry Kramer. Yeah. Are things that are of deep value to me today. And it's been a long time since I played football. So athletic heroes are very important.
Toughness was a part of his pro football career. During his time in the NFL, Jerry endured 22 surgeries. In the 1961 season, Jerry suffered a badly broken ankle, but returned to his starting position the following season. During the 1964 season, Jerry got so sick that rumors circulated that he'd actually died. Doctors finally located 4 wooden splinters that had been in his abdomen since a teenage accident chasing a calf on his family's ranch in Idaho. Jerry had played high school, college, and 6 years of pro football with the splinters in his abdomen. Jerry recovered from the illness and surgery and returned to the starting lineup in 1965. In spite of the medical problems, Jerry was named All-Pro 5 times and was a member of one of the greatest dynasties in the history of the game. He was inducted into the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame in 1975 and was voted the best guard in the first 50 years of pro football. Jerry won 2 Super Bowl rings and also earned a spot on the all-time All-Madden team. Although I wore his number and wanted to be just like him, my football career was somewhat less stellar. My only honor was being selected to the Idaho Statesman All-State team in my senior year. We later discovered that the Statesman had made a mistake and the coaches had actually selected my younger brother Kyle instead of me. Even though they let me keep the certificate, I refused to read the Statesman for years. I read Instant Replay every August, and each year Jerry's words got me through two-a-days. Jerry hated two-a-days, wind sprints, and up-downs as much as I did. He admitted there were parts of football he despised and at times thought about quitting. But he made me believe that the reward was worth the hard work, that football would teach me life lessons and bring me friends that would always be there no matter how tough things got. So many sports heroes have words like legendary and historic attached to them. It's almost as if these men are godlike, flawless, or invincible. Jerry Kramer was special to me because he was truly selfless. You couldn't point to his records, stats, or individual performances. What made Jerry special was his commitment to his team. He cleared the way and made it possible for others to be their best. Jerry taught me and my sons that working hard and sacrificing for others was the best way to be a true champion. There have been 2 more books from the Kramer-Shapp duo, along with a CD set with rare recordings from Vince Lombardi's last year in coaching. Jerry has 4 children and 6 grandchildren. His son Jordan was also a standout at the University of Idaho and played for several years in the NFL. Today, Jerry continues to clear the way for others through the Gridiron Greats Fund, a foundation established to help former NFL players suffering with severe disabilities and financial needs. From the beginning, Jerry Kramer's life has been about helping others. Whether he's clearing the way for Bart Starr, Jim Taylor, and Paul Hornig, inspiring a slow, pudgy freshman through two-a-days, making life easier for aging football players in need, or even being here tonight to help out a high school football program, Jerry Kramer's life has been about being a champion through working hard and being selfless. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Mustang football welcome to my hero and our new friend, number 64, Jerry Kramer.